So many people want to be great, but yet no one wants to show up. What's up, guys? It is Mighty Q here with Mighty Q's Locker. And today I want to talk a little bit about goals and a little bit of a way to reach those said goals. So, for those of you that don't know, when it comes to sports, I've done quite a bit of things in the past handful of years. In the first 2 seasons that I played semi-pro football, I had 3 All-Star selections, two All-American Bowl appearances. One of those games, I got defensive MVP. 2 Silver Star Bowl appearances, also one with the defensive MVP. And I cheered my fall semester of my junior year of college. I wrestled my sophomore year of college, and I was on a golf scholarship at Lewis University my freshman year. So, in terms of the amount of sports that I've played, and even after college, after I left with cheer, I went back and I was playing golf in Dallas some. So, when it comes to sports and when it comes to setting goals, I've done it a lot, and I've done it with a multitude of different sports. The goal that I had initially with golf was I really wanted to get a scholarship. I wanted to get a scholarship in high school and I wanted to go play college golf, and that's exactly what I got. I reached that goal. And the way that I reached that goal was based on the fact that I used to go to the golf course every day in the summer with the exception of Mondays because the course was closed. My mom would drop me off on her way to work. From Tuesday through Friday, on her way to work, she would drop me off at the golf course. She would go to work and she would pick me up on her way back home. I normally would warm up or practice, and then I'd go play. I'd eat lunch. I'd go back out and practice. Sometimes I'd go play again, but no matter what, I literally practiced in the morning, had lunch, and would practice or play again. So 5, 6 days a week, every week in summer. And during the school season, I was practicing 5 days a week still, at least once. So I was going to reach my goal. I was not stopping until I got a college scholarship, and that's exactly what I did. When it came for wrestling, at that time, for me, it was a lot different because I had stopped wrestling and I didn't wrestle. So I stopped wrestling my sophomore year of high school. I was cutting weight the wrong way. I was just going about it all in the wrong fashion. But because I had started playing golf and I was starting to get pretty good at golf and I knew I wanted to play golf more than I wanted to wrestle, I decided to make the decision to stop wrestling because I wanted to focus on golf. And so I stopped my sophomore year of high school. And I restarted wrestling my sophomore year of college. Now, I wrestled 2 tournaments in freestyle and Greco my junior and senior year of high school. But other than that, it was 4 years that I didn't touch a mat. Now, I officiated, but I did not wrestle or practice for 4 years, with the exception of those 2 tournaments that I wrestled in just randomly out of the blue. So my sophomore year of college, I didn't want to wrestle folk style. My coach, Andre Metzger, talked me into wrestling folk style. We had 3 tournaments left before conference, and the way he talked me into it was, he said, "Hey, Quinn, we've got a 197 spot open, and we really need you for conference points. You need to wrestle at least 2 times before conference, and conference is 4 weeks out. We have 3 events before then. One of them is at home." He told me this on like a Tuesday during the week, and so that week I went down to Austin at the University of Texas, wrestled in a tournament down there. And this was the first time I had wrestled in a folk style tournament in just over 4 years. I haven't practiced folk style. I haven't wrestled folk style. And I went down there. I wrestled 197, and that was the heaviest I weighed in all season. And I weighed at like 191 or something. And I literally ate Chick-fil-A as I was walking into the gym because I picked it up on the way there. And so I ate Chick-fil-A as I was walking into the gym, and I ended up weighing 191. So realistically, I probably weighed like 190. And so I wrestled 197. I won that tournament. Next week was at Texas A&M. And that was a dual tournament. I went down and I won all my matches in that. I think I wrestled 3 times. I won all those matches. And then the following week, we were at home at UNT, and I won that tournament. And then conference, I took second. And then I went to nationals. And for me, like, I don't like folk style. I really don't. It's my third style if I had to rank them. And I just don't like folk style. Folk style, I think it's just, it's an encouragement of stalling, and the people that get really, really good at it know a way to make it look like they're being active, and it's just pure stalling. That's why I can't stand folk style. I like freestyle and Greco because I like the scoring, and I like the fact that you are taking chances. Like with folk style, no one takes the chances on anything. It's like, hey, I have a good double leg, I have a pretty good pinning combination, and I have one good escape. Like that's all you need to be good at folk style. But to be good at freestyle and Greco, you have to know enough moves because not everything's going to work. A gut wrench isn't going to work on everybody. Some people know how to defend it. A gator roll isn't going to work on everybody. A throw, depending on what throw it is, if you've just got over-unders and you're going to try to hit a lat drop doesn't work on most people. Double overthrows was my go-to, but there's 4 different throws that I would hit from double overs. So for me, I always liked freestyle and Greco because you are not only encouraged to score, you are forced to score. Folk style needs to start to take into account, like just giving a guy a stalling call, no one gives a shit. And even if you get your second one and you give up a point, for the most part, it doesn't mean much. But in freestyle and Greco, if you're being passive, you are actively attacked. Like, to be put on the clock and said, hey, you have to score in 30 seconds, otherwise we're giving him a point, like, that is wild. And that's what makes it so great. So for me, and back to what this original thing was, is setting goals. So that's kind of what it looks like for me, is like, I was wrestling folk style with not much of a, hey, I'm trying to like go out and do it. I just wanted to go out there and wrestle as good as I could. And I ended up winning a couple tournaments, and I placed second at conference. I wrestled pretty good. In the finals, I put a dude in a spladle. I thought I was going to get the win. And then like I went to nationals, and at nationals, I weighed 188 flat at nationals. And I'd been practicing 2 times a week for 2 weeks. So it's like I still hadn't practiced much. I still didn't really care because it was folk style. And I went in, I won a match, and I lost my second match, and I lost my third match, kind of tweaked my knee a little bit. But like, I didn't have any goals for folk style. Like, I didn't care. Like, I was wrestling folk style as a way to get me ready for Greco because I wanted to wrestle Greco. And I knew that the NCWA had Go Greco Nationals, and I had reffed them the year before. So I was like, oh, I definitely want to wrestle in this. So the entire folk style season, those 4 tournaments or 5 tournaments, whatever it is that I wrestled in, I didn't care. I wanted to wrestle Greco. And so I wrestled with a Greco mindset in all 5 of those events. In most of those matches that I wrestled, I threw somebody. When I was on my feet, I didn't take a shot, really. I took a couple. Like, I think I took a pretty poor double leg that actually got thrown to my back in one match. And then there was a separate match where I took another kind of wild shot, but I ended up figuring out a way to scramble and got it. But other than that, like my first match in nationals, I got taken down, and then I threw the dude with double overs, and then I ended up pinning him. In a different match, I ended up hitting a counter headlock in my second match and threw the dude. And in another match, it was more of an Uchimata. But either way, I don't know how many matches I wrestled, but I'd probably say 75% of them, I hit a throw-in because that's what my goal was. I wanted to wrestle good at Greco Nationals. I wanted to become an All-American, and that's where my focus was. And so for me, I put the work in to accomplish the goal of becoming an All-American in Greco. The same way I put the work in to get a college scholarship. I showed up and I did the work. People talk about, you can have anything you want, and then people just expect it to just be dropped to them. The point is, you have to show up and work at it. So the next transition is I then was like, okay, I'm done wrestling because I got that goal. I became an All-American in Greco. There's not much any higher that I wanted because I don't want to wrestle in the Olympics and I don't want to do worlds or anything like that. So like that's where it's off the table for me. So for me, I achieved that goal and that's where I was able to stop. And the next goal was I wanted to make the cheer team. And it's because I was a mascot before and then I was no longer going to be a mascot. That's a different story. But basically the cheer girls are like, well, you can come cheer if you're not going to be a mascot anymore. And I was like, I'll give it a shot. It's something new. It's something I can learn. It sounds like it could be fun. I'll give it a shot. And I did. I had an absolute blast. And the one thing that I really learned from them was how much work can be put in for something that no one gives credit to. They practice 2 or 3 times a week, depending on what season it is, and they bust their ass every day in practice. And they practice for 2 or 3 hours. So, again, it goes to if you just show up. People talk about, oh man, I want to go, I want to get fit, I want to get lean, I want to lose a bunch of weight. Well, it starts with showing up to the gym. Like if you literally never go to the gym or you never show up to whatever it is that you want to do, you're never going to get what you want. It literally starts with showing up. If you want to lose weight, then just go to the gym. At least go to the gym. Take a walk around the block. Whatever, like the smallest level of entry is all that's required. And just do that every day. Just do it every day. You go to the gym every day. I don't care if you walk a mile, if you run a mile, if you lift some weights, you bang some stuff around. If you go to the gym every single day and your goal is to lose weight, you will figure out a way to lose weight, but you won't do it unless you start showing up to the gym because you can't work out if you're not even at the place that you can work out. Because clearly the environment at your house is not the right environment for you to be working out because that's the only reason why you had the goal now that you want to lose some weight. So it starts with showing up. No one shows up. People wonder how they talk, oh man, everything's so easy these days. Oh, you can get whatever. Because nobody shows up. They want it to be handed to them. They want it to be dropped in their lap. But you know what? Some really big goals are going to take a lot of time. And so just show up and keep working. I've been chasing the dream of becoming a professional athlete my entire life. And that's the reason I work out the way that I do. And I take the approach that I do with all of my sports. Because when I'm playing pickup volleyball, or when I'm playing, not pickup volleyball, but I'm playing like co-ed league volleyball and co-ed softball, and I'm doing like these like random sports because all of those translate and I have little lessons that I learn from every single one of them that makes me a more well-rounded athlete. And I fucking can't stand when people are like, a jack of all trades. Yeah, because most people don't understand the full quote. They cut it off. A jack of all trades is often a master of none, but oftentimes is better than a master of one. Go look up the full quote, and it's going to be exactly what that is. A jack of all trades is someone that you want. If you have a business and you go to some guy and he's the third best guy at finance, he's the second best guy at sales, he's the fourth best guy at marketing, he's the third best guy at customer service, and he's second in terms of design. You don't think that person is fucking valuable? That person is way more valuable than the person who sucks at sales, who sucks at marketing, who sucks at customer service, but gives you really good designs. For the design team, maybe. But I would much rather have someone on my team and working for me, or an athlete on my team who shows up and busts their ass at anything that they do. They give their best effort at anything they do. Because you know how you become a jack of all trades? You bust your ass and you try hard at every single thing that you do. And if you do that every single time and you give it your absolute fucking best, the only thing that's going to happen as a result is you're going to get better and better and better. And you're just going to keep making improvements as long as you keep showing up and giving your absolute best. So whatever goal you have, set the goal, show up every day, give it your best. And if you didn't hit it today, show up and do the same thing tomorrow. And do the same thing the next day, and then the next day, and then the following day, and the day after that, and the day after that too. And do that until you reach the goal. And then once you hit whatever that goal is, celebrate the fact that you hit it. Take a second to do that. Take a second to analyze what you want to do next. Set that goal and start working at that one. It's that simple. Show up every day, bust your ass, give it your absolute best, and you're going to learn. You're going to improve. And you're going to hit your goal. It might not be the date that you set, but you're going to hit your goal. Just keep working at it. All right, guys. I think that's enough for me on the message. I think it kind of summarizes enough on that one. But the big thing for me is, like I was talking about in terms of that jack of all trades thing. That one kind of definitely gets me frustrated because I know in terms of me being like an athlete, I'm not the best at any particular sport, but I can play damn near every single one of them at a very high level. So, I will talk to you guys on the next one. If there's anything that you guys need from me, you already know. Don't be afraid to reach out. But that is going to do it. I will talk to you guys later. So whatever you need to do, remember, show up, bust your ass, and get after it. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. See you.